Only the sound of chalk tapping the blackboard echoed through the classroom. In a way, it kind of fits the evil blackboard and Echo the Dolphin into that in some way. It fucking doesn't. That's just fucking stupid. After finals, there'd be only a graduation ceremony left, so I was trying to concentrate on each class as much as I could. There's that look of elegance. I glanced at Anzu. She was writing what was on the blackboard. I remember that she said she didn't actually have to take notes because she'd remember everything written on the board. She said that she only took notes to show the teacher that she was taking the class seriously. Was that true? I do remember it was really good, but wouldn't that be too excessive? I dreamed of doing that. Alright, Yukimura-san, can you read the next part? Anzu held the textbook and slowly fell. Suddenly Anzu collapsed. Yukimura-san? She'd looked sick since this morning, but I never expected it was so bad that she'd faint. Anzu! I rushed over to her. Her face looked red. She must have a fever. Hey, you should have told me you're sick. Class rep, take Yukimura-san to the nurse's office. Akane, help me. Whoever it is, take her now. Okay. Mitsukoshi-sensei frowned as she looked at the... moment. Is her temperature really high? It's really high. Anzu was lying on the bed. I couldn't understand the difference, but they seemed to be communicating okay. Mitsukoshi-sensei took the medicine out of the cabinet, poured some water into a cup, and came back to Anzu's bedside. Mitsukoshi-sensei handed me the cup and the medicine. Don't be ridiculous. I ignored Mitsukoshi-sensei and handed the medicine to Anzu. Here, can you swallow it? Huh? Since Anzu said something stupid, Mitsukoshi-sensei smirked and stared at me. Hey. Anzu slowly sat up and took the cup, then she swallowed the medicine. Should I make a goofy face? What's wrong? I can lock this room up after school if... I can lock this room up after school if you want. Mitsukoshi-sensei clapped her hands as if she came up with an idea. She takes the bus here. Maybe it's not a good idea to send her back to the bus. It's okay, right? Okay, Miss Koshi Sensei, I'm going back to class. When I was about to leave...
ちょっと待った
Yes?
桜井くん、あなた病気の女の子を置いて自分だけ戻ろうなんてちょっと紳士とは言えないんじゃない？
I didn't mean to be ungentlemanlike.
言い訳無用。ちゃんとついててあげなさい。君の分の相対届も出しておいてあげるから。
Am I leaving early too?
そう。調べはついてるのよ。二人の関係とか。今日はちゃんとついててあげること。わかった？
Okay.
先生、雪村さんは寝てて。ここは私に任せて。でも、よかったわね。物分かりのいい先生が保健室にいて。
Anzu closed her eyes without saying anything after that, as if she gave in. Would this mean that I got a chance to go to Anzu's house by accident? Even though she might have a reason to keep people away from her home, I couldn't leave her alone in a situation like this. I mentally thanked Mizukoshi-sensei.
うわ。
Wow. Mizukoshi-sensei drove us to the west side of the island. When I got out of the car, I couldn't help but mutter in surprise.
雪村さん、あなたこんないいとこに住んでたのね。
Mizukoshi-sensei said that to Anzu, who was lying in the back seat.
別によくはないですよ。ほへー、これでよくはないって言うなら、私の住んでるところは悪いところじゃ済まされないわね。そういう意味では。なんてね、冗談冗談。広い家も住みづらいことがあるってことぐらい、私でもわかるよ。これでも保健室に勤める身ですからね。青少年の心の問題だって、お茶の子さいさい。
So is Anzu from like a rich family or something? Oh, it's actually like... So maybe there's a sense of loneliness in her. Like, maybe trouble with family, not really giving her any attention or anything like that. Maybe something like that's the whole thing. And it reminds me of the reason why I ended up awake for 24 hours. Because my mind wasn't sharp. It was like coming up with ideas for songs, and it was like, no, rich kids. Just like, kind of look at me just like, you snotty nosed little spoiled bastards. But then I think, it must suck to be a rich kid. You get money thrown at you, sure. But then you get a nanny thrown at your side, and your parents kind of just more or less just like say, okay, bye. It's like they wouldn't really pay much attention to the kids. Just like, you got all this money? Well, we're not gonna bother raising you ourselves because we've got too much money and we don't give a shit enough to do so. So that must suck. So maybe that's the case. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. We'll find out in time. If she started handling students' emotional problems, I believe there would be chaos.
それにね、実を言えば、私の実家も結構大きいんだよね。広い家に感じる閉鎖感っていうのは分かってるつもり。
先生。
こうしちゃいられない。早く行かないと所長に出されちゃう。
You can go now. I'll take her to our room.
そう？悪いわね。
I helped Anzu get out of the back seat and got her riding piggyback. I felt her small breasts on my back. You always gotta mention breasts, haven't you? Her breath blew softly into my ear. I could tell it was feverish. Hey, I wish she wouldn't joke around when she was sick, at least. Don't mention it. Drive safely, Sensei. Mizukoshi-sensei waved through her window and drove off. Alright, shall we? You know, then he like gets to go back, so it's like, okay, I guess I'll catch him. But shit, I haven't got any money! I pressed the doorbell while carrying Anzu on my back. Nobody answered the door. I pressed the buzzer again. Again, no answer.
義行。
Anzu stuck out her arm from behind. She was holding a key in her hand.
これで。
Oh, you have the key? You know, family isn't home? I think I might actually be onto something with what I was talking about there. I took the key from her hand and opened the door. It's just a guess, though. The inside of the house was huge. Anzu's room was also quite big. So, this is your room? I looked around the room. It didn't feel like it had been lived in. It seemed spacious but empty, kinda like that one big-ass room that I had in The Sims 2. I carried Anzu to her bed and let her lay down.
ありがとう。
Get some sleep.
義行は。
I'll be here. I'll take a tour around your house, just like, now. I held her hand.
ありがとう。
I'll talk to your family when they get home, so don't worry and sleep. Anzu seemed to have fallen asleep before I'd finished talking. She must have been straining herself. Maybe I should have changed her clothes before she went to bed, but I should just let her sleep now. I put the quilt on her and held her hand again. Anzu murmured. I looked at her sleeping face. Even though she was still feverish, her face looked peaceful. Good night, Anzu. I whispered and gently stroked her hand. Then I looked around her room again. There. That'd be the best word to describe this room. It contained only a few essential things. A notebook with a neat binding on the desk caught my eyes. There's a desk? Is that a diary? It looked like it. It felt a bit strange for her to keep a diary considering Anzu's talent for memorizing things. I had the urge to open it, but I suppressed it. Good. I mean, sure, we can all be nosy, just like you see, like, a diary is like, ooh, suppress the urge to read it. I woke up by her bedside. It looked like I fell asleep while taking care of Anzu. I let go of her hand and my palm was all sweaty. It was already evening, but no one appeared to have returned home yet. Maybe I should go check. I stuck my head out into the hallway, but it didn't look like anybody else was there. Hello? I called, but nobody answered.
義行。
Well, I turned around and Anzu was up. Did I wake you up? Sorry. She shook her head. How are you feeling?
まだフラフラする。
Only natural. You wouldn't need a doctor if you get really well with just a few hours of sleep. Do you want me to go get you something? Do you want anything to eat?
いい。
Sure, but I think you should eat something. You missed lunch, right? Oh, maybe your family will be home soon, right?
この家誰も帰ってこないから。
Huh?
この家には私しか住んでないの。
Oh, it all adds up now. Really? Anzu began coughing. I wanted to ask her about her family situation, but it didn't look like a good time. Why don't you eat something and take your medicine? I'll go get something.
いい。買い置きが結構あるから。
Okay, I'll make something then.
ありがとう。
I'll use the stuff in your fridge, alright?
自由に使って。
Thanks for waiting. I thought I was going to cook her a gorgeous meal, but most of the food she had was just canned stuff, and the refrigerator was almost empty. The kitchen was huge, but it didn't appear to have seen much use. So big house, one person lives there, and there's not really a whole lot of things in said house. I found a pack of rice porridge, I warmed it up and added an egg to make it an instant meal for the sick.
ありがとう。
I used the tray I found. So when I mentioned the whole dream thing where you just in the ocean, they just mentioned maybe it's loneliness or something like that. And he's just my god, I could not be more dead on by the sounds of it. That sounds exactly the case. I stared at the bowl and the spoon for a moment. Hey, do you think I should blow on it to cool it and feed you in this kind of situation?
自分で食べる。
You're right, here. I handed her the tray. Don't hesitate, it's made from what I found in your house anyway, though. What's the matter?
やっぱり食べさせて。
Anzu looked ashamed and handed the tray back to me. Okay. I pulled a chair by the head and sat on it. I scooped up some rice porridge and blew it on it to cool it down. Here, open your mouth. She opened her mouth just a little. The spoon won't fit if you don't open more, say ah. There's always that, isn't it? It's not just open your mouth. No, you gotta say ah. I carefully lifted the rice porridge to her mouth. Anzu slowly chewed and swallowed.
おいしい。
Yeah, right?
うちにあったレトルトでしょ？
Yeah, you can make it a lot better with a few additions.
それはそうだけど。でも。
I have some demanding people at home, you know.
家族。
That's right. Here, take another bite. Say ah. There, change your tone and face there upon that mentioning. It's... Time flowed slowly. I'd hoped that a girl would feed me like this before, but I never thought I'd feed a girl like this instead. This wasn't bad either, but it felt ticklish. The sun set early in winter. Wait. Is that a mirror then? Huh. I thought it was a window. It had just been twilight, but it was completely dark by the time Anzu finished her meal.
ごちそうさまでした。
I hope it tasted okay for you.
美味しかった。
I didn't do much. Here, take your medicine. I handed her some ibuprofen and a glass of water. She put the medicine in her mouth and swallowed it with the water. Her throat made a cute sound when she gulped. Do you want to get some more sleep?
もうちょっと起きてる。
Yeah, well, as long as you feel okay. Why are you laughing?
こんなの何年ぶりだろうって思って。
Something like this?
おかゆ作ってもらったり、夫婦して食べさせてもらったり。ずっと昔におばあちゃんにしてもらったっきり。
Anzu said as she smiled. Surely it'd be hard for somebody to do that for you if you weren't a child. Anyway, when will your parents come home? Think that's an awkward question, don't you, at this point, Yoshiyuki? It wasn't that late at night, but the sun had been down for a while now. It's fairly obvious the situation, Yoshiyuki, you dense motherfucker.
この家には誰も帰ってこないよ。
Oh, you mentioned that. I remembered you said that before I made the rice porridge. Are they living separately? Then wouldn't it be better if you called them and had them come over here?
私さ、お父さんもお母さんもいないから。
Huh? I didn't know. I'd been with her for a long time, but I'd never heard about this. Did they pass away? I couldn't help asking, even though I felt hesitant to. Anzu subtly shook her head.
多分、どこかで生きてるとは思う。
Somewhere? What does that mean?
私ね。
She hesitated to continue. She seemed to be wondering if she could tell me or not. It says any choice, pretty much. Let's just say you don't have to talk about it. Just kind of, you'll probably go either way, because it does say any choice. So if we just like, instead of just like, please tell me, just like, let's be a bit like, kind of like, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. Don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
義行には知っておいてもらいたいから話すね。
Okay.
私ね、子供の頃、両親に捨てられたの。
I was right after all, it seems. What? Left her? I couldn't understand the meaning of what that phrase meant. For a moment an image from some cartoon came to mind, where Anzu was left in a cardboard box like an abandoned dog or cat. I rushed to shake that image from my mind.
いろいろあってね、施設に預けられてたの。その私をおばあちゃんが引き取ってくれたんだ。雪村っていうのはおばあちゃんのせい。私を養女として迎えてくれたの。だから本当はお母さんって呼んだ方がいいのかもしれないけどね。
What happened to her?
3年前死んじゃった。風見学園に入学する直前だった。それ以来私はここでずっと一人暮らしなの。
I see.
おばあちゃんすごくお金持ちだったから親戚中が遺産相続でものすごく揉めてね。ひどいこともいっぱい言われたけど、おばあちゃんの遺言通りなんとかこの家だけもらうことができたんだ。あの時のあの人たちの顔、言葉、私一生忘れない。忘れることができないの。
After Anzu's parents abandoned her, her grandma took her into her custody. She was the only family Anzu had that she could rely on. I wondered how Anzu must have felt after her death. She'd even been exposed to a nasty battle amongst her relatives over the inheritance. You know, last year my grandfather actually died, and I remember like hearing like people that were just like, oh, I want this and that and this, just like going over that, and I just remember just being like, fucking assholes. I hate that about people. It's like, when someone dies, why the fuck should, like, you just be like, what do I want inherited? It's like, just pisses me off. Just like, if someone dies, you don't think, oh, what can I get off them now? You think, that's sad. It's like, rest in peace. You don't think, ooh, I wonder what I'll inherit. You better let me something good. You know, something like that? I hate that. Anzu must have gone through far more hardships than any of us. What could I do in a situation like this?
そういえば、私、一度もおばあちゃんのこと、お母さんって呼べなかったな。
Anzu murmured. I realized that I was holding her. I probably couldn't help it. I should become Anzu's family. That desire, arrogant though it was, entrenched itself in my mind. Anzu. Her body felt hot because of her fever.
結構ヘビーでしょ？引いた？
Well, not really, because I kind of guessed this was probably the case, but I wasn't expecting it quite the way it turned out, but I did kind of get a general idea. Anzu asked as she sank her face into my chest. I'm immune to sad stories.
別に同情なんてしなくていいよ。この生活ももう慣れたし、一人で暮らすのも気ままなものだし。
Well, the dream that Yoshiyuki saw doesn't really seem to, like, indicate much of that. Don't strain yourself.
無理のつもりはなかったんだけどね。こうやって抱きしめられると、へこたれるもんだね。
Go ahead.
へこたれた。もう少しこうやって胸に顔を詰めてて。
Sure, my chest is exclusively for you.
アンズ専用義行だ。かっこいい。通常の義行より3倍優しいね。
Now imagine if it was 3 times denser than usual. Shut up.
義行、暖かい。
You feel hot.
熱あるもん。
Appropriate for the winter season. Then silence prevailed. We both remained silent as time continued to pass. Anzu suddenly lifted her face from my arms. Hmm?
ねえ、その、
I knew she was going to kiss me. Well, at least not that dense. I kissed her half-open lips without saying anything. Her lips were soft and burning hot. I'm not doing the kissing sound effect for you, Yoshiyuki. We kept kissing each other for a while. We separated our lips, then kissed again like we missed the touch.
義行、ずるい。
I thought I should be ballsy. Did it work?
熱が上がったかも。
That's not good. We laughed and kissed again. I felt appreciative that I could spend some happy time with her like this, while she has a fever and all. Who should I thank? This cautious sense appeared in my mind and said, thank me. At that moment I couldn't help smiling.
やっぱり体も大事なんだな。
What? Anzu mumbled something in my arms. Hmm?
やっぱり体も大事だなって思って。
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. You should have a good rest and get well.
そうじゃなくて。
She nuzzled and smiled.
よくね、人は心さえつながってればいいとかさ、目に見えないものが大事とか、そういう風潮があるじゃない。
That sounded like the Anzu I knew. Yeah, emotional connections are important, aren't they?
そうだけど、でもそれだけじゃないでしょ。
Was that true? I tried to feel Anzu's warmth in my arms again.
目に見えるものが大事だっていう前提があるからこそ、目に見えないものも大事だってことを忘れないでって言えるの。それを忘れて目に見えないものだけをもてはやしちゃったら本末転倒でしょ。目に見えない心の絆も大事だけど、今こうやって体が辛い時に義行がいてくれて、抱きしめてくれる、キスしてくれる、触ることができるから安心できる。体のつながりって大事だなって思ったの。
That was true. I myself recently got to know that I could feel safe when I was touching somebody like this. It'd be beautiful to say we were emotionally connected, but I felt that I shouldn't neglect the importance of our physical touch. It wouldn't be perfect if either one was missing. You're right. I nodded and held her tightly.
そう、この感触、それに義行の匂い。
Anzu took a deep breath while burying her face in my chest. Smell is intangible, though.
分かってないな。
She pouted sulkily like a little girl.
目に見えるものの匂いが大事なの。
I got it.
ちょっと喋りすぎちゃった。
I remembered that she had a fever. What, you forgot somehow? I couldn't hold her like this forever. Okay, you should get some sleep.
ねえ、よしゆき。
She whispered in my arms before I finished what I was about to say.
1月29日って何の日だか知ってる？
Of course I did. So I answered confidently. It's your birthday, right?
知っててくれたんだ。
Kane and Coco have been reminding me over and over again.
誕生日一緒に祝ってくれる？
Well, you know, we haven't been informed about it, but I kinda knew it because the choices on the side on the walkthrough do mention a birthday. Was going to even if you didn't ask.
じゃあ約束ね。
I nodded and kissed her again, then I laid her down. I left her house after making sure Anzu had gone to sleep. I locked the door with a spare key she'd handed me. It's cold. It's really cold out. I couldn't catch a cold. I should go home and take a hot bath to warm up. I headed home while thinking about Anzu. On foot or by bus. The chilly air welcomed me as I opened the door. It's like, oh, it took me all freaking night to get home. No, it's just the next day. But, anyways, how long have I been recording? Holy crap, I might have 3 parts with this recording session here. Depending how I split it off into parts, like I usually do. But anyways, that was interesting. We finally know quite a bit more about Anzu, and I was somewhat right then. It's just that her parents weren't actually rich, or maybe they are, but we don't really know anything about them, because it's weird really, because actually was the reason why I ended up staying up all night was ideas popped into my head for various songs, and one of them was like, I had lyrics like, they threw money in your face, a nanny at your side and turned away and left you behind, or something like that. Just like, you know how kind of rich people handle raising their kids, by, you know, not actually raising them themselves. They have a nanny do that for them, and then they bugger off with their own things. So the kid ends up growing up, trying to win over their parents' affection and impress them, but never being able to achieve it, and probably grows bitter as a result. Just some, like, deep thoughts come to mind whenever I'm trying to sleep. It only happens when I have to be awake in the morning. It's seriously just like, this is all very interesting and all, but Jesus Christ, I'm trying to sleep. It pisses me off when my mind decides to just be like, oh, you know, God, just for songs, but too bad I didn't think of it during the day. It's a pain in the ass. But anyways though, I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.